Hey folks, Quillyteen here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Dwarf Fortress. We are the 15th of Sandstone in mid-autumn of the year 52, and in this episode, I've gone and set up, well, not a military squad. I had to technically make one so that I can muck around with my uniforms, but I got my uniform stuff all sorted out. I'm actually going to be working, if I go here and assign, we're going to be working on 3 different tiers of uniforms in this particular playthrough. We've got our leather outfit over here, which is basically for our ranged squads. Apparently ranged combat is quite heavily influenced by weight. We want to make sure we don't have anything too heavy. This is also going to be quite cheap. In theory, our ranged fighters aren't going to need as much gear. So we're going to deck them out in some relatively basic leather and get that started. Mostly just not to compete with the melee squad's equipment, but in practice, our archer squads could probably be upgraded to this sort of light setup over here. So if I go, I suppose if I go and look at the details, so this is my leather uniform over here. So we've got, and by the way, we will be looking at a dwarf very shortly. In fact, it will be the dwarf that happens to be leading the squad, but more on that in a moment. So on our upper body, we are wearing both a tunic and a cloak. You can actually like layer multiple copies of most of these. Like, I think like, you know, you throw like 6 cloaks on and things like that. We're not going to do that kind of multi-layering we're not going to do layering of duplicates because it feels a little silly, and honestly, it might just make our investment in each individual dwarf a little too high, but maybe we can consider it for a legendary dwarf later. But yeah, a tunic and a cloak for the upper body. We've got a hood on our head, leather trousers, leather mittens, socks. So one of the things in the assignments apparently is if you just put the sock in once and then the footwear, like the shoe, in, what's going to tend to happen for whatever reason, dwarves will equip one sock on one foot, and then a shoe on the other foot, and then finally a second shoe on the socked foot as well. So they'll end up with 2 shoes, but only 1 sock for whatever reason. Where if you go sock, sock, and then the footwear, then they'll equip both socks, and then they'll equip a pair of shoes for whatever reason. The same thing doesn't have to happen with your hands, possibly because gloves and mittens have a handedness applied to them, so you don't need to do those sorts of shenanigans. Our shields will be made out of wood because the material for the shield doesn't matter for defense. We want something as light as possible. We could consider, and I may consider in fact for my heavy squads later on, we might consider some metal shields just to make them last longer, because wooden shields wear out quite quickly in combat apparently, but otherwise there's no real reason not to. And as discussed, we want metal for our crossbows because if they do go hammering in combat, if they get into melee, we want something better than wood. It looks like for a bludgeoning, copper's actually better than iron. I was going to make the crossbows out of iron just because we are making iron as part of our steel making process, but what I might do, we also have access to copper, so I think I'll just use copper for the crossbows, save the iron for our steel industry in general, and that's going to be perfectly fine, and arguably maybe a better hammer. So that is what our leather uniform looks like. Now, if I back out of here, if I go and assign you the light uniform and then hit details, we can see the differences over here. So apparently even dwarves that don't have armor skill, the encumbrance for heavy armor isn't, I guess it's not about total weight, it's about any individual piece above a certain mass and things, and mostly means we're not equipping breastplates and greaves. So this light uniform is similar to the leather uniform, but also throws on a steel mail shirt, a steel helm, steel gauntlets, and steel high boots over here. I do have it set, all my uniforms are set to uniforms replace clothing, because what happens is if they try to wear it on top, sometimes there could be a conflict with something they're already wearing, then they don't properly equip things, so it's a good idea to do this. Of course, if you don't have enough of these pieces of equipment, then your military squad may run around naked and be generally unhappy. I've also got the exact matches only on right now. I don't know if that's as strictly required for some of these uniforms, but whatever, I'm going to throw it on. Theoretically, we're going to be making the right stuff, so that's going to be okay. And then just to look at the final one, our heavy outfit over here, again, is just very similar to what we've been building on, but more so. We throw on a breastplate on the upper body. The nice thing about breastplate and then the greave over here that we're throwing in, these are very like hardened shaped armor. You can't layer multiple copies of the breastplate, but up until now, while the things like the mail shirt, for example, is quite good for resisting slashing and piercing, didn't do very much against bludgeoning attacks. The breastplate and the greaves will help protect against that considerably. But yeah, otherwise it's kind of sort of more of the same. Again, still the wooden shield. Might consider, again, replacing it with just some cheaper metal, maybe copper or something like that later on, just to increase the durability of the shield, but it's not actually required for anything else. So I'm going to reassign the leather outfit over here because it is light and cheap. We don't have our leather armor being made yet. Or sorry, we don't have our steel armor being made yet, but we're starting on leather. Because the thing is, all of our dwarves, even the higher squads, are going to want leather armor, so we may as well get that started first. Now, we're going to take a look at GW Fenton over here. When I was going and assigning my militia commander here, there were two options that stood out. There was Airnator and GW Fenton. Both already have some skill as tactician and leader. Not much, they're only novices, but they had some. Looking at Airnator, though, there were some issues. Airnator is actually currently cranky. I think we spotted that last episode, that Airnator was a little on the cranky side. And one of the reasons when I was looking at the thoughts for Airnator, you can see here they're grouchy from being caught in the rain, right? They, I don't think, are a very good candidate for spending time on the surface to defeat a goblin raid, because what if it raids and then they'll get cranky? Whereas it didn't look like that was the same case with GW here. GW Fenton. They didn't have any bad thoughts of the kind, which might just mean they they just happened to not have gone outside in the rain. But there are some stats. I can't remember where. Somewhere in their description block, somewhere probably with the personality and the traits, it talks about how they feel about outdoorness and various things like that. I'm not sure under which category. It might have been that preference. But my preference might say something like absolutely detests getting caught in the rain, or it might be a trait. But I just noticed in the trait here, we also have he is brave in the face of imminent danger, which seems like a very valuable trait to have for our militia commander. So we've got GW Fenton recruited into the military. We don't have anyone else in that squad right now. But the thing I wanted to do is I want to go through and refigure out. Now I've got a proper document that I've worked out with some additional notes for myself going forward to remind myself what these uniforms are. So the uniform is as I described it. And what we're going to look at for our Leatherworks workload, we're going to make sure that we are indeed producing the correct thing. So yes, I want leather tunics. Yes, I want leather cloaks. Yes, I want leather trousers. Leather robes, I'm not actually going to be using as part of my design, so I'm going to go and drop that out. That's going to be fine. And yes to leather mittens. Was there anything else? Tunic, cloak, trouser, hood. Leather hood. I missed it because it wasn't a question mark, but leather hood is in there as well. Excellent. Socks and I believe shoes will both be handled by the tailor. I might be wrong about the shoes part of it. I guess the question might be, are we seeing anything in the queue here? No. If we take a look at the clothier, just making the robes. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if the tailor does make shoes. I check the status. Is enabled material preference. Yeah, but that's not actually... I suspect it does make shoes, but what we can do is we can keep an eye on our dwarves and see if they are being beshoed or not. I think that's a perfectly cromulent word, so we're going to use it. But yeah, in theory, our leather armor is being made. What we don't have yet is a job in our orders for our shields, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. So what we want is wooden shields. I guess it's wooden shield. There it is. Wooden shield. Scroll down to the bottom. Make one per day. And if amount of shields is... Do I want to keep a big stockpile of some of these? Because would people put them away and put them back? I don't think we need it. Keep a couple of shields around. People should grab them on the fly. That's going to be okay. So presumably that's going to be the carpenter that makes that. And then I will put in the job over here for our copper crossbow. Now I'm going to have to ensure that copper is being made relatively well. So, and again, I mean, I could do a, maybe for this, you know what? I should just do a one-time order. Make me 10 copper crossbows, because I don't think we need to... I don't think they get worn out, so I don't think they're going to have to be replaced over time. We'll probably just have the one archer squad and no more than that. So one-time order of 10 copper crossbows is going to be fine. Now, is copper going to be made? Yeah, well, some of the stuff is definitely going to make it. Was it right? Makes tin. We have tetrahedrite over here. Apparently we have enough copper bars, because this is not running because we have presumably 10 or more copper bars. So we're actually set that way. In theory, we should see at the Metalsmith's Forge at some point once this job gets validated. Oh yeah, I think I have the I have a thing at auto sorts. One-time orders get sorted to the top of the list. You can hit it with the sort button over here. But yeah, I have something running in the background that constantly does that. This ensures that one-time orders don't get stuck behind these repeating jobs. So that'll go there. And in theory, we'll show up at the Metalsmith's Forge, unless I'm wrong about where it goes, but I don't think so. A second job here for this Metalsmith's Forge. And I wonder if that's a weaponsmith job, perhaps, to do. It might be. I'm assuming it is. I mean, it might be metal crafting, which is enabled, although not exclusively here. Problem is we still don't have a weaponsmith. Well, you know what? Hold on. I haven't started my jobs to make either my steel short swords or silver warhammers yet. Crossbows, assuming they are a weaponsmith job, the quality of the crossbow doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for range. I think it might matter if they're meleeing, but kind of sort of who cares about that. So how about we assign someone? Well, these four already have a job assigned. Pyramid Bread is our trader, was our leader. Actually, I guess we don't have an expedition leader, and you didn't get the mayor. You could be a candidate. Outer Moppet, our herbalist. Oh, you're also our doctor. The Lamented over here. We do have someone set the blacksmith. Turns out you're actually not that good. Blacksmithing's your highest skill, but it's a novice. Okay, tell you what. You're clearly someone who already is used to working at a forge. So we're going to go and make you a dedicated weaponsmith. And what I'm curious about here, we look at you. Lemon... What's your name? How come that didn't find you? Does it only search for the beginning of the name? If I look for Yod... Oh! I didn't realize that. Okay, you're currently asleep. That's fine. Okay, now you're up and you're eating. You're going to haul watermelon sleep. Oh, for your eating. That's fine. Are you going to go and craft some copper crossbows? Yes, you are. Wonderful. So that might be a way for you to practice your weaponsmithing skill. If I recall correctly, did steel bolts or metal bolts also train weaponsmithing? Because we did a run where we had our build-a-boat workshop. The idea is we had a bunch of forges that were set to, you were allowed to use this as long as you had no skill. And each forge was trying to craft like one metal crossbow bolt per day or month or whatever, something like that. The idea being that people, low-skilled people, and it is specifically targeted really for people who didn't have any crafting jobs, because a lot of dwarves have this desire to create something, and a lot of these dwarves didn't have those jobs. So we had them go and be allowed to work on metal bolts so that A, they could maybe satisfy their need to create something in general, but more importantly, get them up to like 1 point worth of weaponsmithing, so that if they got into a strange mood, they would have at the very least weaponsmithing as a mutable skill, a skill that could be targeted by a strange mood to make an artifact, therefore increasing our chances of getting artifact weapons. Now, assuming I'm remembering all of that correctly, which I may not be, but assuming I'm remembering that correctly, that could mean we could be training up the Lamented over here with making some metal bolts. Which obviously, if our military squad is fighting, we want them firing metal bolts. Getting ourselves some migrants. Okay. We were at 57. I wonder how quickly that'll go up. For that, I may as well go and dig out the rest of these bedrooms here. Have them available now, and again, we could do some pre-smoothing and stuff like that, which actually I think I was supposed to do with here and here, just to make sure they're ready to go. So the dormitory might be getting overwhelmed. Okay, that was not a very big migrant wave. Did you bring any grazing critters? Look at me remembering this. My God, who's playing this game? There we are. A couple more grazing critters in there. Still don't like that it overlaps the road, but is now our time to go and build our steel wall? Well, again, one of the things, if I want to build a military squad, and at this point, I think I would really like a squad of 10. I would feel a lot safer. I think I'd like a barracks for them, and I do kind of like the idea of it acting like a gatehouse. But if I'm going to do that, let's get our stone wall. Again, there's absolutely no reason. Like, these wood walls, perfectly fine, perfectly equivalent, makes no difference whatsoever. But we're dwarfs for crying out loud, and therefore this is unacceptable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that back. Can I trim this one back as well? No, because it's a different stockpile. All right. Wasn't sure if it would let me do it. Trim this one over here. Oh, I have to put you in erase mode again. I think our refuse stockpile will need to be... I guess I was in the right mode for that. Will need to be embiggened. Let me stretch you out. Oh, it can't go on the road, but this is all still valid placement. And as far as I know, wagons can go over this junk. And if nothing else, they can go around another way. So it's probably fine. I'm going to remove this road. And then I guess I can just build the wall up to like here. And then we can replace the bridge. Just, yeah, a couple of tiles out. Well, why not push out a little bit more? So let's assume maybe right here. So this line to here. So this trap, I will remove you. That's this one here. Yeah, okay. And then this trap over here, I'll remove you as well. And then we're going to build a stone wall where that is. We do have our block stockpiles over here. So it should build a lot faster than it did last time because we aren't going to have to walk a million miles just to pick up our blocks. They're already waiting for us here on the surface, which is great. Once the outer wall is rebuilt, and then we have that ceilinged as well, what we're going to do is we're going to build a guardhouse on top. And actually, maybe what I'll do... Okay, well, let's start by building the wall. Wall, and this is set now. We are only using blocks for construction. So we'll do this and do that. And what I'm going to do is plan staircase here. I guess against the wall. There. So from here, we'll be able to walk up into the gatehouse. Unless I want the entrance to the gatehouse further in and safer. Because if there's an attack, is that convenient being so close to the door? Do I want to pull it back further? No, I'll build it here. I think conceptually it makes a lot of sense to have the staircase right next to the drawbridge. Oh, that one's not going to be good. Interesting. It lets you construct a staircase on a single Z level. It doesn't let you dig staircase on a single Z level. All right, so if we do this, we'll have access to the roof. And then we're going to do a bunch more flooring. We've been here before. Cover that up. There you go. I think that's going to lead to okayness. I'm going to chop down this tree just because it's sort of obstructing my view. It's not a problem. We're not worried about the climbing in this situation because we're going to be fully enclosed up here. Now, right now, this staircase is a huge vulnerability. Once I build this bridge here, even if I close the bridge, enemies can come up the top and climb down. Right this second, it's fine because I can close this. But this is all going to get enclosed in a building. So the flooring's going to come in, and yeah, you can see how quickly it's building this. Oh, so lovely. So much better than before. That's what happens when we actually have haulers who can bring our blocks up. I guess I can plan the bridge immediately as well. Bridge flows thusly. Oh, the road's still there. Okay. Road's not fully done being deconstructed. Alright, flooring's done. Right. We are going to have to build a floor over where this wall is. Can I do that now? I mean, I can leave the wall here. If for whatever reason I could leave a dual gate setup. But I'm probably going to tear it down. Can I build floor over a wall? Looks like the answer is yes. I don't think that's going to remove the wall, which is going to be good. So we're going to have a stone floor ready to go for when we remove the wall below it. We won't have anything exposed. Okay, good. Oh, now that these blocks show up, I bet you that door is gone. So build, construct, bridge. Closing that way. There it is. Okay, good. As I said, I'll let the floor finish here. Technically, I think we're going to wall over part of where that is, and those places we didn't need a floor. But that's all right. Luckily, in the Steam version, it does auto-replace. Because previously, if you wanted to build a wall where a floor was, I think you'd have to deconstruct the floor first. So you'd be like, oh, existing construction. But now the game is nice enough to do it all in one, which is a huge time save. Okay, everyone's still very busy. Meditating. Are you doing that in the temple? You are. Okay, yeah, see, hopefully people are getting their religious time here, which is good. Oh, yeah, let's get the hospital ready here before we go too far. What am I doing? It's not tables that I want here. I mean, we're going to want some for operating. What I want is a bunch of beds. I will be lining both sides of this with beds, but we're not going to need that many right now. So we'll do that. I will go and get a couple of operating tables. And we'll also plan traction benches, which we really don't need very many of. I'll plan for that. And I can't remember, traction benches, that's something we pre-create? Yeah. Make me exactly 2, please. Thank you very much. So this is going to be a hospital, which is... It's not a meeting area. Bedroom, dining hall, bedroom, fishing stand, office, dormitory. Wait, what? Oh, it is. I mean, pre-Steam it definitely wasn't, but yeah, all right. So you're a hospital. You'll need some storage things. And then again, we're going to double up on this. We're going to make a meeting area in the same area, which is a guild for, I think, doctors. I can search. That's got to be doctors. It's got to be the right thing. Doctors Hall. And for this, I'm very happy to have anyone, including outsiders, come and teach us doctoring. Oh, I guess I gotta close that and then type here. Doctor Guild Hall. And then, of course, the hospital as well. Yeah, and then hospital. Done and done. And yeah, we're going to need... Oh, then I need my soap industry, of course. A couple of those. So, soap. What do we need for that? Well, we need an ashery. I mean, we got some log storage over there. I mean, I don't think ashery is something that we do all the time. So I don't know if the proximity matters that much. Ashery down. And then I guess we just need the soap maker. And then what we need is a job here to make ash from wood. I think it's just called make ash. Yeah. And then we need to make lye. And then we need to make soap from tallow, which is what we're going to have a lot of. That's going to be the rendered fat. So for all of these, we're going to do 1 per day. If we have less than 10 ash, and we have more than, say, 20 logs, make some ash. Lye, same thing. If we have less than 10 lye, and we have at least a couple ash. We're not really using ash for much. Maybe potash? Whatever. As long as we have at least 2 ash, we will attempt to make 1 lye. If we have less than that. I guess you need to empty buckets as well, but I think I might want to... I've got a job to make buckets automatically. So, as long as we've got a couple of empty buckets, you can use one. I think we might have to change our bucket job to keep more empty buckets around, though. And then soap, if we have fewer than 10 that, and we have at least a couple of things with lye, and a couple of fatty globs, because I think you just need 1 of each, then attempt to make a bar of soap. Oh, right. This checks for any bars by default. We need to do material and soap. Right, hold on. But then it wants a specific type of soap. We need... Is it adjective? Soap items. There we go. So now, soap bars less than 10. There we are. You will attempt to make some. And yeah, wherever my bucket job is, which is closer to the top here, the wooden stuff, wooden buckets. Let's say, yeah, we aim for that. I'm going to try to keep 10 empty buckets around, so we'll have some flexibility. Okay, soap industry should now be a go. We've been rendering fat. I think we're going to be good with tallow. And so that should get installed over here as we get the material. It'd be great to pull all the rocks out of here. Oh, dolomite. I mean, I could hide it. I could do some dumping into a quantum stockpile. I'm not going to worry about it. We'll leave those rocks there for now. Let me go through the autosaves and say I'm going to dismiss the crossed out thing here and see what kind of messages we're getting about shortages. We may have to do some gelding. Slaughter's fine. That's fine. Oh, no red messages right now. We had a bunch of cage things, probably from setting this up. Just behind. I think we may have to stockpile more cages. I think I am going to change that because we're probably only keeping a couple of cages around from the early days. Yeah, let's try to keep 10 cages ready to go. If we get a goblin raid, a lot of these cages will get used up all the time. Oh, there's some more things being caught actually. These giant sparrows. We are gonna have to figure out the animal training stuff. I don't know when. Maybe I'll just delay it for like 1,000 million years. Okay, all this construction is done, including the new bridge over here. What I think I'm going to do, so this is the outer bridge. I'm going to link this to this. So technically this lever currently controls both bridges, but we're going to go and tear this down in a second. But first, the guardhouse. So I think, again, with the understanding that something could walk right up to the fortifications and shoot us through it, I'm still going to go and build a little, just fortifications all around. So these are all arrow slits. We can fire out in every direction. That's going to be okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and construct 1 ramp adjacent to this so that we can do that and climb up to this ceiling. We can walk along the top of the walls, at which point we will go and floor this section here to enclose this completely. Then I'll remove the ramp. Not that it matters, actually. If people get on top of this, it's not a big deal. I wonder if you can walk on top of fortifications. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. If people can never work on these floors, it means you can't walk on top of fortification, in which case we'll just issue some floor jobs there. This will be totally enclosed, and then what's going to happen, I'm going to wait until the fortifications go up. I'm just going to put a bunch of traps on the outside. I might even double layer it. That way, if anyone's trying to run up so that they can shoot through the fortifications, they'll run into the traps first. Which seems like a fairly decent system. And then these staircases are no longer going to be exposed to the outside. At which point we can get rid of this bridge here, because once we close this, we'll once again be sealed in properly. Unless I've missed something, but I would never miss something. There we go. These are no longer have the little clocks. We'll see. I mean, I'm assuming we need this fortification to be finished before anything else happens, but we're going to see what happens when we finish that. And then this is going to be our little barracks. With no sleeping quarters or anything. Yeah, we won't put any personal storage in here. Although, it's a long way to the main base. Maybe we should have people sleep in bedroom here. I could have made a second level up here. I suppose I still can. I can make a second level up here, which is the living quarters, that is walled in, and make that be part of the barracks. Nothing's happening. I suspect they can't reach this. I suspect very much that's the case. So what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to cancel this because I think I've convinced myself that I want a second story. So if I go stairs, click here and pull up like that, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Construction, stairs, click here, and then pull up like that. In theory, I'm hoping they can go and build that and go up. Push comes to shove. What I'm going to do, just in case there's some weirdness going on, I will build a single floor tile there. Someone can build that, and then they can go and access the ceiling up here. Yeah, someone's coming and working this staircase. I think once they finish working this staircase, they'll be able to finish the top part, and everything's going to be fine. But yeah, we'll do that. We're going to build full wall enclosure there. We're going to need a way for people to get up to the roof and enclose it completely. That's fine. What I'll do... wall here. A ramp next to it, and then a ramp on top of that wall. Okay. No construction seems to be happening. This weirdly unreachable? I'm wondering if it is actually unreachable here. Oh, hold on. All this was done on the wrong floor. I'm just realizing. Wall here. Ramp here. And then on top. So, I think we have blocks, but they're reserved for the floor that I don't think they can reach right now. That's why no construction is happening. This staircase was... Look at all the macaws just right stormed in here and I think might be stealing from my crops. That's funny. No, I don't need tables. I might want to change these jobs that I set up quite early with fairly low limits. I think I want to keep a few more around, ready for some of these bulk jobs. We're going to keep more doors. One does not simply walk into more doors. Tables and chairs. Mechanisms we're not needing a huge number of right now. That might change. And the cages, yeah, we set it to 10, which is going to be good. Okay. I think that's going to be all right. People should be able to walk over here and construct this wall and this ramp. Yeah, it might be a block shortage. But block jobs should be back in here. People should be making it. I think we'll be okay. A lot of people chilling out here listening to stories. How do you feel about this room, buddy? Bitter getting into an argument. Delighted watching a performance. Inebriation. Watching performance. Remembering communicating with their god. Getting a lot of arguments. Get caught in the rain. Yeah, well. I guess nobody likes that. Engraving is still happening very slowly. There's Claw over here. How's your engraving skill? Well, you're an adequate engraver now. Things are getting better, which is good. We're still going to get you to practice over here before we do anything else. Meanwhile, yeah, we're still waiting for that. Do we need a second? I might need a second stone carver, assuming we've got someone else who can do it. I guess pyramid bread could be brought back into stone. I mean, you're just dabbling, so it doesn't really matter. But you're not, I mean, other than being the broker, or sorry, we're not anything. You've got the trader tag, but you don't actually do it. Pyramid head, I think we're going to do that. There you go. You're not going to start off very good. But I think we need a second person doing it. I might want a second stoneworkers workshop that accepts orders. Because these don't accept orders. They're just here to make blocks. All right, let's do it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for building, workshops, stoneworker. Put it down there. I don't like that they're not next to each other. That's going to have to do for now. So yeah, we'll accelerate the rate at which we make our furniture. And yeah, there's a bunch of blocks sitting in here. Let's take a look at the service. There we go. This ramp's built. Ooh, zest. And we haven't done this one yet, but that's okay. Stoneworker's Workshop. Well, that's vaguely annoying. I'm happy I'm building the second one, I guess. It doesn't take them very long to build the artifacts, so hopefully it's okay. There we go. They were able to climb up this ramp and build that one floor. Now they're going to go and do the rest of it. There we are. And now that this this staircase is accessible, we actually don't need this ramp anymore. So I'm going to go and remove that. And then this, right, this ramp doesn't work because it's not leaning against any wall right now, but we can go ahead and do this. Oh, I think, okay, as I say, I still need to do the corners first. The reason is in Dwarf Fortress, even though people can squeeze through diagonals, they can't build diagonals. They have to be orthogonally adjacent to something to build it. So if there's a wall here and a wall here, you can't build the corner. I believe with the auto suspend mod, it will intelligently build things in the right order to prevent things from being blocked. But, as I say, I'm going to play it safe. The problem is, they still, apparently, if they can't stand on fortifications, and I think they can't, they aren't actually going to be able to build these three. They could build this one standing on that floor. So I think there's a good chance what I have to do is construct a little piece of floor next to each one of these corners. And then once the corners go up, then I can finish the rest of the walls. And actually, I guess I can queue up most of the walls to be constructed, and perhaps most importantly is the wall here so this ramp works. So I'm going to do this. And then, so this ramp will then work so that people can get up here. And then what we're going to do, they will be able to walk on top of the wall there, and then we'll get them to roof this. So the idea is this area here is going to become a kind of the living quarters for our active military squads. I think that when they're on off duty like this, I think they'll return to their bedrooms. But on duty, if there is like bedrooms and storage set up, then they will go there. They might not be super happy about it, but it will minimize a lot of the walking time. We could even stockpile some food and drink up here. Although, that's always a little annoying. Too bad we can't do priorities and things the same way as RimWorld. There's a few things we can do here. All right, you've created an artifact. I always hit O for the artifacts. I guess it's Shift O. Odad Osal, the Feasts of Singing. This is a shale figurine of dwarfs. 3,100 dwarf bucks, not bad. All craft dwarf ships of the highest quality. The item is a masterfully designed image of dwarves in shale by Mr. Siggs. The dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of work cloaks, our fortress, by the machine of sanctuaries, that's our government name, of the special peaceful razors, which is our civilization, in the early spring of 50. It is encircled with bands of single-cut onyxes. The object menaces with spikes of shale. On the item is the image of 4 narrow crescents in cherry wood. On the item is an image of dwarves in sheep wool. The dwarves are traveling. The artwork relates to the foundation of work cloaks by the machine of sanctuaries of the special peaceful razors in the early spring of 50. Very nice. Mr. Siggs, I don't remember what kind of mood this was. No, okay, you did not get legendary in anything. Okay, but you're watching demonstrations over here, it's really good. I guess what I should do is assign a chief medical dwarf. Oh, that's interesting. Outer Moppet was one of our original 7 dwarves that founded this, but apparently Porch over here is actually the better diagnostician, which is what it's recommending for our chief medical dwarf role. Now, we can also, for the hospital, of course, assign jobs. They haven't had any goods or delivered. I don't think their chest is actually installed yet, despite what it says there. So, I can't remember, if we do this, does it remove them from the chief medical dwarf role? It does not. Okay. It will compete for that. Okay, competent diagnostician, doctoring, competent surgeon, adequate surgeon. Who's gonna be who? Whatever. Do it that way. Oh, although surgery. Now, the doctor role, I think, is the catch-all if you don't have anyone specifically assigned to things. Tell you what, Outer Moppet, you will be the doctor. We'll leave Porch as the diagnostician. And then if we get someone who specializes in surgery outside of these two, or these two, then we'll assign them as specialist role. But yeah, I think Outer Moppet will do most of the doctoring other than doing diagnostic work right now, which is fine. And yeah, even though it said we had 2 coffers, these coffers are not actually installed yet. And as a result, we haven't moved any resources there, but you know, hopefully we don't actually have any real injuries. There we go. I think, well, first of all, our corners are installed, so we're going to go construct wall, finish that, here, 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 and there. And on the upper floor, they can walk on top of the wall. Oh, right, I have to make sure to finish the staircase over here. So from here to there, from here to there, and then we're going to floor so. And in this case, because people can walk on top of the walls, I think we'd be 100% fine with the auto suspend, making sure that the corner pieces go down okay. But I will explicitly pre-place these corner pieces, make sure there's not an issue, and then wait, hold on, I'm not building another set of walls up here. This is just the roof. I also didn't need the stairs. Must remove construction. All right. Remove these staircases. My bad. See, look how nice is this pink and like dark gray. Like how appealing is that combination? I hate that this is made out of shale, but on the other hand, it's quite clear. It just happens to be that these 3 shale ones are the ones that are over the gate. And all of a sudden, I don't hate that. It almost looks like it's intentional. All right, then yeah, over here, now I can go and floor over these things. So our little gatehouse on top of our gate is fully enclosed. I can get rid of all this ramp stuff. Let me do this in order. Although again, I think it's possible that auto suspend would do this in the correct order, but I'm going to remove this ramp first. Theoretically, I wonder if this ramp would collapse once we got rid of the wall underneath it. Not sure. Oh, wait, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're not done building the roof yet. We need this ramp to be able to access the roof. Okay, my bad. Let that completely finish. I suppose I can go and designate this as a barracks. So this space here, plus I forgot. Why are you starting with a click here? It's very annoying. I forgot zones can't be multi-levels. Oh, what a dang shame. Oh, right. Removing the ramp here, there's no floor where that was. I'll have to rebuild that. Well, the same thing will happen over here, but that's fine. I forgot zones can't be multiple Z levels. So this isn't anything. Well, this could be... We could still use this as a separate barracks. Oh, wait, hold on. We can have multiple barracks assigned to the same squad. Right? Call this barracks sleep. And this bottom one, barracks, train, patrol. Yeah. So this barracks, the Veiled Silvers, which is the name of this, will have training. And then this barracks over here will also be assigned to them, but for everything but training. So they can store equipment like ammunition, They can store their individually assigned weapons and armor here, and they can sleep here while they're in active duty. So, hey. Oh, that's not inside. Oh, it must not be under a roof. Yeah, okay. But why is this not inside? Furniture. Some cabinets. And a couple of chests. Will the chest store the ammunition? We could also put an ammunition stockpile, which I think is generally a good idea. And for various reasons, I think we might not want to have containers. Oh, I think I canceled out of that instead of making it. Oh, we still need a shooting gallery. I guess bolts of... no, I might want to specify some metal bolts, not in bins, because I think what happens is if someone's trying to rearm themselves, they reserve the entire bin, so I think someone else can't grab it right away. I might have to double check ways to optimize around this. I feel like there's a little something. Also, right now our ammo is probably being stored in the catch-all. Although what I could do is set a rule for this and say, listen, you are going to grab stockpile, selected stockpile, will take items. Yeah. So if we do this and then I click on the catch-all, if there's any ammo in the catch-all, it will get brought up over here. The better thing actually is probably, and I think this is the trick I've used before, now that I think about it. I think what I'm going to do is make a small stockpile over here, which is going to be for ammo, specifically just bolts. This can have bins. You are going to take from the catch-all. And then this here, not going to take from the catch-all. Instead, it's going to take from this one over here. So this big stockpile, no bins. The smaller stockpile has bins. But the idea is we're going to take arrows out of this and leave them loose in the middle here, ready to be grabbed, if everything goes well. Roof is nearly done. And then, yeah, we can take down all the ramps and stuff. What if someone stands here to remove the ramp? Would they be that stupid? Dwarves are pretty stupid. They may not. I think they can do it from the tile below, and so that would be the closest, the first tile they reach that would work. I'll put some more beds in here. So that's 8. There you go, 10. The entire squad can sleep. No, hold on. That's 7 on the edge, isn't it? All right, we'll do that. So that's 10 beds. So, I mean, I would hope the entire squad doesn't have to sleep simultaneously, but we'll technically make it able. All right, that's fully sealed in. So, construction, remove this ramp. Just do this one. We'll see if we get ourselves stuck or anything like that. But most importantly, I think we want to remove this before we remove the wall underneath it. Again, the ramp might just go away if we get rid of the wall, or it might just be hanging in midair in an awkward way. There you go, done. Oh, new season. Early spring. Confirmed, no one's stuck on the roof. Good. So now, if I remove these 2 constructions, I think I will have to rebuild the floor. Where's everyone going? Random stockpile. Oh, I have auto chop enabled. Someone's to come and chop this door, and everyone's like, I must get all the logs. Chop this down. I said door. Oh, we got some alerts. Possibly because people are on the surface. Let's just chop a few more trees. Oh, a snatcher. But they were spotted over here, and they're going to run away. Okay, there you go. We do have the gap over there, as expected. So now we're going to fill that in. And then as soon as that's done, I'm going to wrap this whole area with at least 1 layer of cage traps. More snatcher? Yeah, that's fine. And then we're going to fill our squad up and get them to start training. I can probably do a little shooting gallery in here, yeah? How do we do it? Military? Archery target? Put a couple in here. Is there any chance they would shoot people who are training? There's archery range. Well, what I can do is this barracks here. I can shrink it to keep these 2 tiles empty. So that way I can archery range. I don't know if you make 2 separate ones. And then shoot downwards. I don't know if I should have 2 separate ones or just the one that covers the 2 is going to be fine. I'll do the one that covers the 2. And we'll see how that works out. Roof is done. That's done. Okay. So, traps. Cages. Be nice to click and drag, but not the case for this. And yeah, we had it set to keep 4 mechanisms around, but this will just kickstart the mechanism construction, and that's going to be okay. So yeah, anyone who wants to run up to the side of this fortification and attempt to shoot through it will instead be caught by a trap. Once I do this layer, I'll probably add a second layer. I did set the mechanisms to try to stack up to 10, but probably hadn't started yet. That's okay. So no one's actually moving these arrows. So this is feeding into the stockpile from there. Okay. Loose bolts. Stacked bolts. Yeah, that should work. I mean, oh yeah, and you get the give. Yeah, so you take from catch-all, you give to loose bolts. So at some point, someone should do that. Unless these are just empty bins. No, there's some bolts in there. A little surprised we're not seeing the loose bolts yet. All right, but squad. I think we have to go and put some new people in here and get you activated. So what we want to do is we want to choose people. The Aeronator comes up again. An Aeronator is someone who hits the rain. But actually for this squad, it might be fine. Maybe I should have put you leader this, because you actually aren't going to go outside and get exposed as often, are you? We'll sort by ranged effectiveness. See, Lord Warfire is a skilled Marks Dwarf, but they are on hunting duty, and that would conflict. Peasants, Dyer, the Mayor. I'm not going to issue you. Beekeeper is fine, because it's not a job we care about. Fishery Worker, same thing. Thresher, Bone Carver. Okay. So I'm going to suggest our low priority jobs. We're going to go and do the schedule mucking about, which is going to involve... Hey, there's a default staggered training order in here now? How come there's no edit for you? Because of this. You're on for 3 months, then you get 2 months, then you get 3 months off, and that. But we need an offset staggered training in by default. I might prefer mine where, well, I guess I could just rename constant training to be staggered 2 or something like that. But the important thing is for this, we don't require everyone. This save, or I might, I'm trying to remember, do I have to, yeah, that's not going to work, right? Yeah, I have to set the number I want, click training again, remove the old one, done that. Confirm. If I go into edit, it's still got training at least 6. Copy, paste, 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 paste. I'm going to do the same thing for the constant training side. So that's Galena. So we only need, I could have renamed this to make it clearer, but that's okay. Confirm the 6, yeah. Because, I mean, I don't know if it still works that way in the Steam Edition, but previously there'd be weird things where, like, if not all 10 dwarves were simultaneously available, it wouldn't do a lesson properly. And this lets people cycle in and out on things. So I think even if we set them to constant training, they're actually not, they're not going crazy. So, I don't know. You know what? Go constant training. And we'll see. Now, We're going to assign this archery range to the Veiled Silvers. So hopefully some people will practice shooting and other people might practice some, dodging, fighting, that sort of thing. So take a look. I mean, no one's got their equipment right now. Okay, they've just been activated. So these red ones mean we don't have any. Green means they've got it. The yellow with the ... means it exists, but they haven't gone to pick it up yet, or they're on their way to pick up this gear. So GW Fenton looks like they're going to have a full set of gear. We need some quivers. Apparently we need 8 more quivers. So let's put in an order. Leather quiver. And apparently we need 8 more, is what that looks like to me. So we'll put that in the queue. What is the mandate? Don't export millstones. That's fine, buddy. I wasn't planning on it. How are our fancy bedrooms coming along? This is looking pretty good. So let's finally go and set this up. So it's going to be office. Dining hall. And yeah, I do need the rest of these carved out because we need a few more of these fancy ones. And bedroom. And then we're going to assign this. So the Baroness, Richie. Oh, I need to remove your old bedroom. Rooms. Yeah, get rid of the modest one, which I guess is here. Yeah. So I'm going to remove the assignment. That way you only have the one bed. Because I think they still sleep in their old bedroom sometimes and then they get unhappy about it. It's like, it's not my fault you're stupid. I guess we don't strictly need this part right now. Quick fort. Dig. Oh, well, I might want this as a bit of a guide for the width, actually. I'll try that again. So going right here. That looks right. Yeah. We can... If I do this, yeah, that looks okay. Clearly we're going to want that. Set the priority to dig. Just to make sure this is happening. Because we need one for the mayor. Oh, which is the manager, yes. We only need one more of these bedrooms set up. So let me go and just cancel that for a second. We'll set up this area for the mayor. That's going to be okay. But we do need a fancy tomb. We actually haven't set up any burial yet whatsoever. It's kind of amazing. We're into our 3rd year here. Well, actually, we've completed 3 years, right? Because 50, 51, 52, yeah. We're starting our 4th year, in fact. We haven't had a single dwarf die. Yeah, we haven't done anything too crazy, too risky, and we haven't raided or anything. There hasn't been any combat, which is good because I did delay building our military for a fair while. Oh, I guess the other thing is, do I want to remove this inner wall? Well, certainly I don't want this bridge to close when I pull that lever anymore because it could mess some things up. So we're going to prioritize removing that. Right, and I've already floored up above. I mean, this wall's not really causing issues for us, but no, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. I think we could probably also get rid of these traps. On the other hand, if something sneaks in and then wants to go up the stairs, this is sort of a last resort to catch the people who might be trying to sneak up the stairs. So that actually seems like a half-decent idea. Oh, and then what I can do is rebuild the road. Again, if you don't know, the difference between a floor and a road takes considerably less material to build. It can also be built in bulk by like drawing out an area. But a road has to be on a surface. A floor can be built sort of in midair, right? Like, you're building a new story of a building, but a road has to be standing on a surface. So I'll just bring it out to there. And that'll be good. And then I might go and build a little road over here to connect this up. Again, we might tear down this road to put down some watchdogs too. Or what I do, I could go and remove these traps and build walls just here and here, just to keep this narrow thing under the watchtower, the guard tower. And then that might be a good place to put the guard dogs. Even just 3 tiles here and 3 tiles here, and chaining a dog here and here would be absolutely perfect for vision. Again, it could be any animal, but just feels like it makes sense to have guard dogs, right? Okay, I definitely have to put a cut in here since we're hitting an hour mark. Ah, man, I'm enjoying this run. I love Dwarf Fortress. I really enjoy it. We have a lot of cranky dwarves. Are they both children? Oh, Warfire's angry. Why are you angry? Are you pissed because you keep getting caught in the rain? Because you're out hunting? Wow, the fine paved road. Communing. Why are you so cranky? Unmet need, be with family. And then some low tier, like it's not highlighted. The be with family you're kind of upset about. Are you not getting enough time off? Like you're not in a military squad. You've got hunting duties. Are you just hunting nonstop and never seeing your family? I don't know. Anyway, folks, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.